Good evening, this is Lynx. I'm going to continue with this sort of trend I got with these kind of unusual decks. People are seeming to like this idea that you can take an unusual deck that maybe has some different meanings than you're used to and still make it work for you. So I guess what I'm trying to do here is to get you guys to start thinking in the language of symbolism. So this is the one from the Halloween store. I found this today, and it's all mythology. So it doesn't really correspond to, you know, your Rider Waite or anything at all. I mean, at all, which I love. I love decks that are like that because I think it allows for great spontaneity. So, for example, you got, what is this? This is the Queen of Cups. You got the Gorgon. And you know what? I don't know who the artist is, but it's really sweet. I really love it. Because you got the Emperor here. That's a Sphinx. You got the Four Swords as a vampire. So you see everything, like the Sun is a phoenix. So you see every Eight of Swords, Pegasus. That's a nice change from the Eight of Swords being... Because I'm personally not convinced that the Eight of Swords, you know, that whole... Yeah, once you get into the swords, it's like trauma and mental anguish. I kind of like the idea of the Eight of Swords as the beating of wings. You got the High Priestess as the fortune teller. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you get the idea, right? So these are all... So how do you read with something like this, right? Because it doesn't correspond to... So Six of Wands, right? Six of Wands would be success in a traditional deck, but this is a golem. Now, you could say that this is a moment of success because the magician has made the earth come to life, right, as a golem. But does it look like, you know, our traditional understanding? Six of Pentacles is Arachne. So that would actually be pride. That would be like all about pride for those of you who know the stories. Now I love it because I just love mythology and I grew up reading it. So I just love this kind of stuff. This is really one of the coolest decks I've ever seen. But you're gonna have to be spontaneous when you read with it, right? So I'm gonna show you how you do something like that. So let's say someone comes to you and they say, I wanna check up on my career, and you go, all right, let's just, you know, let's see what, and I'll show you guys how I might be. All right, so I got the Ten of Wands, which is a dragon. Okay, so I got some ferocity and maybe even some protection here. Let me see how they all come together. Viking. So this feels forceful so far. And then the Temperance card, which is, I've got a sylph, or a sea nymph. So I might say, and if you think about it, the sea nymph is a really good balancing card. You know, by land and by sea. Balancing water and earth there. So, and balancing the waves and balancing the tempestuous waves and balancing stuff that churns. So what I'm going to say then is if someone says, hey, what's the business check? I'd say it feels very forceful and needs to be balanced also. So see, what I'm doing is I'm feeling the energy of these two cards. They're very forceful. This one's softer. I feel it's softer and it needs to balance. So I'd say there's a lot of energy be putting in, and you need to balance it. And I'm feeling with the King of Swords being the Viking that you need to take some time and maybe do something else. Balance it with some kind of pleasure and some kind of other, because there's too much forcefulness here. And the Temperance is telling me that you need to balance that. Or then I might ask, or what? What if you don't balance it? Well, then I got the Necromancer. So then the feeling there is that you may have to resurrect. You may have a very hard time resurrecting your life. because you spent so much time working the rest of your life that needs to be addressed, you have a very hard time trying to resurrect it. Okay, so that's how I do it. So then let me show you one more. So I, you know, a lot of people are getting this deck and talking about this deck now, I'm noticing online. So I was one of a few people. I posted some pictures today on my Instagram stuff. People are like, I got that deck too. And people are going, well, can you really read with it? How do you read with it? Because it doesn't follow. So I'm doing this for all you guys. So let me, what could I do? Someone says, well, I want to, I'm trying to get a good question here, and I don't got any. How do I, someone says, what's holding me back from getting involved in relationships? How's that? Someone says, what's blocking me from getting involved in relationships? Okay. And then you say to her or him, so we got the Alien, which is a 3 of Swords. And I'd say you're intentionally putting yourself on the outside because the Orc. So I'd say you need to lighten up and be more friendly. You're intentionally putting yourself on the outside by snarling at people. And what's the last card that comes up? By snarling at people. So you're intentionally pushing people away so that you don't have to. And the last one's the Pirate. So I'd say stop putting yourself physically, stop putting yourself on the outside. Soften it up and roll with it. Roll with it more and have a good time with people. And don't make it so about conquering. And you see this a lot when you're doing relationship questions. It's like, get to know each other first. Just like enjoy each other first. Go with it a little bit. So don't put yourself on the outside. Don't be too defensive. Don't be too serious. Don't be too... Roll with it a little more and be open and go with the flow. So that's how you do it. I hope this shows you guys how it's done. So these are not traditional by any means, but I think this is like, I just love this deck. This is like, it's just wonderful. I don't know who the artist is, but bravo to you. This is beautiful. And it's a beautiful vision, and I love that they went there. And it's all just spooky and myths and spooky imagery. So I think it's great. And those of you who've had the what do you call it? The Halloween Tarot. That's another great one. But that one's in the style of the Rider-Waite, and this one isn't. So it's kind of hard to say like Jenny Greenteeth for 6 of Cups, right? That's usually like charity, right, or nostalgia. But she eats children. If I remember correctly, she drags children down to the bottom. So I'd say in that case, guard your thoughts and guard where you go. Guard where your thoughts go. If you want to try to tie it into like the 6 of Cups and nostalgia and stuff, guard your thoughts where you go. Don't let it drag you to the bottom. Sometimes when we go back in time, we drag ourselves to the bottom of something that we can't get out of. And it keeps us from exploring and having fun in the present. Also, I'm trying to see the gift to this too. It feels like there's a gift in the lotuses and in what's below. So my other thought is the legend really true, or was she doing something else? Just something to consider. So I would ask myself, depending upon what the reading is. So that's how I would do it, and how I am doing it. And so for those of you who said, "Hey, can you read this?" Yeah, sure, go for it. Have fun. Have fun with this stuff, and don't take it so seriously. I'm Lucky Links, wishing you success and good fortune in all you do. If you want to schedule a reading with me, there's one more thing. Don't forget this. The missing piece in a lot of this, people get real demanding about this and there's a missing piece. Don't discount the psychic faculty. You know, the gift really isn't in the cards. The gift should be in you, and you should be able to do it without cards, hopefully, at some point. But sometimes when you do that, people get freaked out if there's not something lying between you. Be aware of that, too. But be aware, there's a psychic faculty that comes into play, too, and the interplay between, like I said in I think it was 2 videos ago, somewhere between what's in the cards, you and the other person is the magic that arises, the psychic faculty that arises. So anyway, hey, if you want to learn a little bit more about tarot, I'm teaching a tarot class, intermediate to advanced. This would be a great deck to do it with, because some of the methods I use in there are real kick-ass and would work really good with this deck and unlock it. It's in a secret Facebook group, and it comes with, all of my classes come with, they're in secret Facebook groups where I post the lectures, and then I do one-on-one coaching sessions, 2 one-on-one coaching sessions with each person to address their personal concerns and needs. Also, I have a playing card class, a Lenormand class, a Grand Tableau class that I will be starting. I'm doing a Lotteria class for those of you who saw my last video, and this has just been a fun weekend for finding decks. I found that Lotteria deck, and then I found this one today, so it's just been fun. So if you want to get a reading or you want to register for a class, give me a call, 779-302-8009. You can text me, and then you can email me at conjurehope@gmail.com. And I would like to thank all of the people who have generously given donations to help keep these going, because they were getting something out of what I'm showing you guys how to do, and it's wonderful. Some of them are really, really generous, what people have given. Thank you. If you'd like to donate to help keep these going, I'll put my PayPal in the thing below. You can donate it. But I've been having a lot of people coming to me lately, in person, online, through chat, through email, text, saying, hey, I want to learn how to do the tarot. And I think, personally, I really, 20 years ago, if someone would have said, hey, do it like this, be more open and flexible, it would have saved me a lot of trouble, rather than go only with the book meanings. Anyway, I'm Lucky Links, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. You guys have a wonderful evening.